On episode 1, Clay presents Michael with our first surprise song, a slightly lesser-known fan favorite by the legendary Smashing Pumpkins. We don't know what we're doing, and our show doesn't have a name yet, but we're starting anyway. The PodQuest begins here. Good morning, Michael. Welcome to the show.
Hi, this is Michael. I'm glad to be here.
This is your affable co-host, Clay.
This is your equally affable guest host, Michael.
Man, I'm so glad to hear your voice today. Have you been having a great day?
It's been a good one so far. I am across the country in Boston, away from the headquarters of East Texas, but through the magic of the internet, we can join up and try to do this thing.
These are truly glorious times, despite what others may tell you. You want to listen to some music today? I got a song for you.
I do. I want to hear a track that you seem to have picked out specifically for me.
My friend, I'll tell you, if it weren't for you, I would love this song, but I know that you like it too. And I'm not going to be one of those podcasters that always starts every episode with like, I'm so excited, even though I am.
Right.
But I'm not going to tell you, but I really am excited this time.
Well, man, I'm anxious. I tell you to hear what you've picked out for me.
Okay. Well, I'm enthusiastic about it, and so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put the song in so that the listener, not that there are gonna be many, but if we have a listener like ourselves, so that we can listen to ourselves, we could put the song in right here, and then we'll take a little break and we'll listen to it, and then we'll get back in here, and you'll be like, Clay, man, you did a great job picking that song today, buddy. And I'll be like, I know, man.
I can't wait. And I normally would be afraid that you would pick something just completely out of left field or something like,
I'm going to take it easy on you.
I appreciate that.
I'm going to bless you with this song.
Yeah, okay. I appreciate that.
Without further ado, here's the song. At this point in the show, Michael and I are going to listen to the entire song, and we recommend you do the same if you can for the best effect. Enjoy.
Well
that
done,
was Siva by the
done.
Smashing Pumpkins from 1991, Gish. Michael, you've heard that song before.
Oh, you know I have.
How do you feel? Tell me about your feelings.
That rejuvenated my soul. That pumped me up. It lifted me up.
Yes.
I was pumping my fist. I yelled yes as soon as I saw it come across the screen.
Did you do a Dwight fist pump in the air and just go yeah?
I will neither confirm nor deny that a Dwight fist pump may have occurred. Okay. Well done, sir. Well done.
I can always count on Gish to lift my spirits, and that's what part of music is all about, and part of what this podcast is about. So, mission accomplished, maybe?
Yes, most definitely. Okay. Now you told me you did some research, but I mean, what research could you have possibly done that you didn't already know about the Smashing Pumpkins? Because, dear listeners, you're talking to fans in the known universe, and I have a hard time believing that you didn't already pretty much know everything about the Smashing Pumpkins.
Well, since we're just doing a little test show, which may or may not ever be heard by anyone other than ourselves, I just had another one in mind that I'd prepped for, but I was like, well, we just need to test something and see. And the first thing I could think of was like, well, okay, we're just going to go for a home run. Because I know that we both love this one, and I know stuff about it. And I was like, let's just go ahead and grab this one. I'll send it to Mikey real quick. And here we go. So, I mean, this wasn't their huge breakout album or anything. Obviously, that was Siamese Dream. But this one, with the success of Siamese Dream, and went on to sell a lot more after the fact. And at one point, I believe it was considered the highest selling independent record label owned whatever indie album of all time until it was supplanted by somebody else. I believe it
I
was
remember. I remember who you
Offspring.
told me
I
it
believe
was.
it was the Offspring.
Really? Okay. I would have
Yeah,
thought
Smash.
Smash was independent. Really?
Yep.
I did not know that. All right.
But for a long
Okay.
time, I mean,
So
for a while, that was anyway. But one
let
of my
me.
finest, I got to tell you, one of my finest, proudest possessions. Okay, I own, let me see how many copies of Gish. I have the Caroline release on
Yes.
CD,
The
and then, of course,
original,
the
the OG.
Virgin release. All the tracks, I think, are basically the same. The artwork's a little bit different. Then, of course, I've got the Super Deluxe Gish remaster from a few years ago. And not to be outdone, my one of my favorite pieces of physical media is the Korean import Gish on vinyl, which is
Oh,
I landed on eBay. It's not. I don't think it's super like sought after or anything, but it's just beautiful. And that album on vinyl is just. It's already a special album, but on vinyl, it's even more. It's even more.
man, that's pretty incredible, dude. Because I gotta say, well, you know, kind of my trajectory with Smashing Pumpkins. I did not, you know, I was a late bloomer when it came to alternative music. You know, for anyone that's listening that doesn't know, Clay and I have been friends for a very, very long time, dating back to junior high. But all of my friends were really getting into alternative grunge, that sort of stuff, well before I was ready to really get into it myself. And so I had to play a lot of catch up. I'm actually still playing catch up to this day. But having said that, Smashing Pumpkins, I really got into them after the release of Melancholy and Infinite Sadness. A mutual friend of ours was really getting into playing guitar. That album had just dropped. And I started getting into them then, and then started kind of working my way backwards and landed on Siamese Dream. And to this day, it's one of the most powerful,
Yeah,
fantastic, complete albums of the last 30 years. I mean, it is an
it's so
incredible record.
dense and just heavy on so
It is
many
just,
levels.
it's an
It's a heavy
incredible
album.
record. And then I had to work further back to Gish. And that one, I'll have to admit, it took a little while longer beyond even
Yeah.
Smashing Pumpkin, or excuse me, beyond even Siamese Dream to grow on me. But it has. And you picked this song from, Siva from Gish, and it's just, it's such a rad song. And
I
you
went
can
in kind of
hear,
strange order the way I went into them also. So I went Siamese Dream was what grabbed me the first time, and I've told the story to you,
mm-hmm.
like seeing them on Saturday Night Live playing Cherub Rock and Today with Christian Slater hosting in like 1993 or something like that, and
Yeah.
then just like transformed like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
my little 14-year-old mind, and I was like,
You
what is
described
going
it.
on? But
I've
it's so
heard you
powerful.
describe it as turning you from a top 40 kid to a rock kid, like practically overnight. And
It did.
and
I was like, this is
although it
not
wasn't
a
an
feeling. This feeling that I'm seeing watching this tall, skinny, baby faced guy with a snarly, whiny voice, like that's so weird. And I was like, what is this? I can't stop watching it, and I have to watch it again, rewind it, to hit the rewind button on the VHS and run it back. Let's watch that again. That's amazing. What is that guy doing? What's that symbol he's making with his fingers, his
mm-hmm.
pinky and his index finger are up, and he's like, and there's this other guy. He looks like he's dressed like all crazy, and they're just shredding and they're having fun, and it's just like, what is happening?
And it's like a national. I mean, for a band that's really trying to make their mark. I mean, Saturday Night Live is a big landing. I mean,
Yeah,
suddenly
I
you're
mean
being
that are they
seen
were
by
already
just.
by that time they were on there. I think they were already in scheduled for I think Lollapalooza and everything, and they were
Oh my
already
goodness. Okay.
exploding. I believe, or yeah, man, what a I I I I love to watch that. I don't want to watch it too often, but I never get tired of seeing that performance.
Oh man,
And
yeah.
wow. So yeah,
All right,
what a
so
great song. What a
so
great album.
Siva, um, and Gish in general. I mean, it's a rewarding listen to go back to after the decades of music they've given us since. You can hear the seeds of definitely Siamese Dream, and to an extent that kind of bleeds over into Melancholy. And, they get a little more experimental and things like that uh, after Melancholy. But for me, it's
Yeah,
you know my feelings about like Machina, uh,
yeah,
but man, just that trilogy. You go from Gish to Siamese Dream to Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, and it's just, I mean,
very few skips
just
in
very
those
very
three
few,
albums for me.
very few. Oh yeah.
Um, I don't think I think the only song I skip on on Gish is Daydream, but I usually listen. I know a lot of people love that one. It's the only one that has Darcy singing lead, I guess, on it. It's
Oh
all right. It's
well,
fine. It's not
I'll
going to
have to
be.
go
It's
back
not
and
going to be an
revisit that
episode.
one at some point. No, no, it won't. Um, so I've got the lyrics to Siva right here in front of me, and I see all this pain smothers me like a bomb that you can't see. Tell me what you're after. I just want to get there faster.
Now, for a long time, I thought that said, I thought, tell me what you're after. I thought he would say, I thought after that he says, I just want to get that bastard. I thought that's what he said.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just want to get that bastard. It's like, who is that bastard? But he wants to get
Yeah.
him.
Who is
And
the
then,
bastard that he's trying to get? And then,
yeah,
yeah.
I love
Oh
it.
man.
It's
So
a
yeah,
great song.
this was a great pick, and this really picked me up. It's just good rock, you know. I mean,
Yeah,
the riffs are good. I like how it gets kind of quiet there in the kind of the back third quarter of the song, and then it just like
yeah.
jumps right back into it, and it finishes with "I don't
They
live,
do
I
that a lot in
inhale.
the early
I don't
days. They
give,
have
I
these
unveil."
stops, and they do it whenever they do it live. They and like they'll do a thing where they get real quiet, and just Jimmy is playing, and then Billy will go on. He'll start riffing, or he'll start maybe talking or something, and the band keeps playing, but they're kind of playing quietly, but he's doing his thing. They call it art breakdown. I think that's what the Pumpkins call it. I've heard Billy Corgan say that they call it an art breakdown whenever they
So
do something like that. And there's
they
lots
even
of
have
great
a
live
name
footage
for
of
it.
all
That's
kinds of them.
that's great.
Yeah, those lyrics, man, those are trip. I don't usually focus a whole lot on lyrics, but
I enjoy looking at lyrics. Having said
he's
that,
such a
I've come
talented
to
writer.
appreciate I've come to appreciate the songs or the artists and the songs that the lyrics aren't so much intended to be profound. They are just another piece of the music, I guess. And like a band that I could say probably falls squarely into that would be something like Oasis, where if you really read their lyrics, you're like, what are they trying to say? But you find yourself singing along anyway because
Yeah,
it's like essential to the music of it.
I've heard Oasis, or I guess Noel, or I don't know which is the principal songwriter. I should know that, but I've heard them say that a lot of their songs and words are just kind of rubbish, and they're just kind of
And I can hear
there
Noel
have to be
saying that
words in
because
their kinds of music, and
he loves the word rubbish. But yeah, so Siva by the Smashing Pumpkins from Gish, wonderful choice. And man,
if you
what
ever
else
get a
can I
chance,
say?
this is a safe place. We're not going to get too deep into talking about gear, but I can talk about Pumpkin's gear forever. But
Hmm.
this song, this if you when you listen to the recording of this, I'm pretty certain that this is um, his bullet Strat that was lost for several years. Did I ever send you? Do you
I
know about
think
the story?
was this the guitar that he lost and
It
like
was
many
stolen.
years later, or was stolen, and many years later he recovered it somehow.
Yeah, Yeah,
Oh man.
so yeah, it's a mid '70s Strat with the '70s headstock, and it's called a bullet Strat because it's got the little bullet thing in the headstock. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but
I don't think I
we're not
have.
going to get too nerdy on this. But anyway, the great story is that this guitar kind of defined the Gish sound, and and it was used on Drown, and it's all over Gish, and it was
Oh
stolen while it
wow.
was on tour, and there's a fantastic little like mini 10 or 15 minute documentary of Billy recounting the story, and then but the guitar eventually found its way back to him. He had put videos out saying, "Hey, look, no police, no nothing. I just want the guitar back. I'll give you." There was like he was going to give like a $25,000 reward or something like that. No
Hmm.
questions asked, no cops. Just give me the guitar, which I love. And he just wanted it back. And
Hmm.
eventually he got some calls from some people, and they found it. From this guy said this guy had it, and this guy, and anyway, eventually he found it, and he uh, opened up the case. Went to this person's house, and there it was, and he knew it instantly that it was it. And he just it was
Wow.
a little bit different from the way he had remembered it, and there were a few things, but there were so many defining characteristics of the instrument that he knew it was it, and he got it back, and he was reunited with it.
So,
It's really actually kind of a touching video if you find it on
well,
YouTube.
I do need to find that. What the guy he got the guitar from, was that the guy that stole it, or
No,
had it
no,
did it change
it
hands several times?
I think it changed hands a couple of times. He didn't get it
Oh,
directly from the
interesting.
guy that
Okay.
stole it from him. No, I know
Okay.
that
All
much.
right. You'd be like, no, there's no cops. I'll pay you your $25,000, and I'm going to punch you right in the face, and then I'm going to take my guitar home.
I just love I love the attitude behind it, and Billy was just super cool and gracious, and you can just see like the look on his face and in his eyes when he's like playing this guitar. They're just like a reunited, old
Oh,
friends, and
that's
it
too cool. I got to check
yeah, it
that
gives you
out.
chills. It gives you kind of, especially if you're a guitar player and like we are,
Right.
and you just have feelings attached to certain guitars. My
Hmm.
one of my most prized possessions. It's just it's a Korean made Sigma, which is like an offshoot of Martin. Just, I mean, it's not a Martin guitar. It's one of like, it's like a Squire is to a Fender or something like that.
Right.
But
Right.
I got it when I was 14 or 15 years old, and it's never left my side. And the fretboard is worn where I've played it a lot, and it's nothing special, but it is special, to
Of
me.
course. Yeah.
And just like that Strat is for Mr. Corgan, I just I could totally relate on that level. You know, it's just an object, but there's something about it. It's got a soul somehow. Somehow,
Correct. Yes.
yeah.
Well, man, this I got to say, this was a total treat. Thank you for dropping this song on me, because we have you and I have talked extensively over many years
Yeah.
about the impact that the Smashing Pumpkins have had on the two of us as far as our musical journey.
I know they'll come up
And
again, and it would be really easy to make
there's so
like an
many.
entire podcast with
Yeah. Oh
a
yeah.
pumpkin song being everyone, and I'm sure
No
that's already
doubt. No
being
doubt.
done. We'll have to limit ourselves to maybe one pumpkins episode per quarter,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
depending
But
on how
like,
many
you
episodes we're able
know,
to crank out.
I have a number of bands and artists that I won't even say come back to, because I've never left them. Once I grabbed onto them, I never left them. But it's like, I'll go lengths of time without really giving much listen to something like Smashing Pumpkins or U2 or Tom Petty, and I always gravitate back to them. And when I do, it's just as rewarding as the first time when it clicked. If not
Yeah.
more so. If not more so, because of the ability of hindsight, being able to look back on those times when that music picked me up, or the music was there when I needed it. And that's just that's the power of music. And
I've had
anybody that's been touched by music can tell you that
yeah,
there's few other things in life that can affect you as deeply as music.
yeah. We agree on
And
that for sure.
oh yeah, yeah.
I've had many experiences with music that have just lifted my spirits in so many ways, and of course ton of them with the Smashing Pumpkins. But I mean, I don't know if I texted you or our friend the other day. I was just driving home from work and 1979 came on, and I was like, I heard it so many times, and I love it, but you hear it and you hear it, and I'm just like, I'm maybe I'm gonna skip it. And I was like, no, just it's probably been a few months since I've actually listened to this song from start to finish, so let's go. Crack the windows a little bit.
Rewarding, wasn't it?
Crack the windows a little bit and just took in the fresh air and sang along, and tears.
That's all right, man.
Joy, and
yeah,
I'm like,
dude.
Wow.
It's just such and the thing is, like with that song and then just so many others, like it's such a simple song. But
I've heard it 100,
500
times, and
we all have.
At the right time and place, the right song.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
even a song that you might not necessarily like love, it can be something that just you turn it on and
the most unexpected song,
exact
the right
song at the right moment, and you're touched, and you might not even listen to it again for days or months or years.
I think I played it a second time. But I immediately played it again.
Well, it's just it's a good, concise, simple, fantastic song.
Yeah,
just like Siva.
And it was the last one to make Melancholy. He was down to the wire. Did you know that?
I did not know
Flood,
that. No.
Yeah, Flood told Billy, like, look, if you're gonna get this song that you're doing, it's got to go. It's got to go right now. It's like tomorrow or today, or like is the deadline. And he cranked it out really quick, and it's like their most iconic. Probably their most.
One of their most well-known, like general population speaking. I mean, anybody who went to the 90s, it
deserves its own episode.
It does. But down the road, I'd say we revisit 1979. But
I don't think we're going to be hitting a lot of the hits. This isn't a hits podcast. I don't think.
I agree.
Although within the Pumpkin circles, that's a very well-known one, and it's a live show staple.
Correct.
But it's it's not one of their.
It's the kind of song in a Pumpkins concert where everybody holds up their lighters and sings along, and it's like this, one crowd experience with the band.
I'm talking
probably more so.
Are you talking about 1979?
I was, but are you not?
Oh, I'm sorry. Because I was like, I don't listen to Siva and think of lighters. But...
God. An understandable mistake.
You're excited.
What are you lighting? Oh.
Anyway,
all right. So, Siva by the Smashing Pumpkins from Gish. Thank you, Clay. I appreciate this, the opportunity to talk about this song and the Smashing Pumpkins in general. This was a treat.
What a blessing.
I agree.
All right, folks. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Yes. Goodbye.
Hey, we really appreciate you listening to the show today. If you enjoyed it, feel free to listen to the rest of our catalog and share it with your friends. Go ahead and follow us. And you can find me on Instagram at Clay Dang Collins. Thanks a lot. We'll see you on the next one.